Welcome back, and today we are putting cruise control on my 1993 k1500. I had a parts truck a couple months back which I salvaged the cruise control off. It had the same drivetrain setup, and just been going through checking the wiring, and we'll get started here shortly. So to put a cruise control on a 88 to 93 Chevy truck that came without cruise control, here's what you'll need. You'll need the cruise control module with the throttle cable. You'll need the wiring harness that comes with that, which has 3 connectors on the back, and then you will need the cruise control stock, and then that has this wire that comes off the end here, as well as self-tapper screws if you're lost the hardware like I did for the cruise control module, and then this tiny extra bracket piece for the throttle body itself. Continuing here to mock up the cruise control system, I have the module here, and as you'll notice in the engine bay without cruise control, there's these 3 indents here, here, and here. And what that lines up to, let me get this in here real quick, is the 3 holes on the cruise control module. And from factory, these used self-tapping screws. And so this is the factory self-tapping screw. And I'm just going to go back with a similar length stainless self-tapping screw. Another thing we have to notice as well is that this hole right here this is supposed to be a hole right here where the rubber grommet containing the cruise control wires can take and go from the engine bay into the cab. So that will be something else that will need to be cut out. So going through the differences here, I already replaced the cruise control stock with the old style to see how that would fit. And as you notice here, that she'll go this way and click, but she won't this way. We're hitting right there on the bottom. And so I have the old steering column set up, and notice how that's a much bigger hole for the stock to go into. So that will be one thing we have to figure out. I can either probably take and cut that back a little bit, or just replace the part itself. We'll see. So to make the new stock fit, instead of taking and replacing this whole piece right here, I just took and cut that out with a knife, and it seems to be working just fine now. Perfect. Mocking up the wiring harness here, I pulled the wiring harness off the parts vehicle, and I'll only just run through the connectors here real quick. So in front of me here with your gray, pink and black, green and blue wire, this connects to the stock for the cruise control. Now none of this is properly wired yet, I was just making sure it all fit. Now coming over here, you will have an orange connector up here, and that's going to have a black, red and white and pink wire is going to connect right in here to your electrical box. And then this other connector is going to come all the way up here. Let's see if I can get a good video, and connect to your brake switch right there. And that is going to be a brown and white wire, and all of that is going to come back to this junction, which goes into your cruise control module in the engine bay. So to deal with cutting the hole for the rubber grommet so that the wires can take and go into their respective positions in the cab, since I don't have any sort of hole saw or anything to take and make that big enough, what I'm going to do is drill on this hole right here, and then take my die grinder and just expand that out. So let's get started. So I have the cruise control installed here. We have our grommet through the firewall. We have our control module attached to the firewall as well, running our cable all the way down here through this bracket to the throttle linkage. Make sure to always save these little clips here. Those are important. I used this entire piece right here. This was from the parts truck. And then on the inside of the cab, we have our stock on here. We can get all directions. And then, you know, make sure you got all movements here. And then instead of tearing the entire steering column all the way down, there's a great video by another guy on YouTube, Suburban Ranch, which details how to do that very well. Since this is a work truck, even though I put nice paint on the outside, I just ran it down the outside of the steering column here and into where it ties into the wiring harness, given that I'm missing a lot of the pieces on the inside of the dash here. So let's take it for a test drive and see if she works. So here we are on our test drive. Gonna take a left here, get up to speed, and we're gonna see if this cruise control system works. Alright, I'm the only one on the road right now, so we're gonna go up to 45 here. Alright, engage cruise control. There we go. My foot is off the gas. We are maintaining speed. I'm cruising down the road. Neighbors are looking at me like I'm strange, because they're right. Alright. Approaching the hill up here, we're going to see if she's going to downshift. We're still holding 45, which is good. Yeah, all you really need for this project is go to the junkyard, find a vehicle of a comparable year with cruise control, have a little bit of wrenching knowledge, and you should be good to go. I spend most of my time just researching. Oh yeah, we downshifted, we're good, we're cruising. Doing just a little bit of research, make sure that I got everything I needed, and all you needed was just the wiring, the throttle, the extra pieces of the throttle linkage, the cruise control module itself, and you're pretty much good to go. So, alright, now that we know she goes up the hill, I'm going to take and hit the brake here. And there we go. She disengaged. I'm going down a hill, so she's not slowing down too fast, but this looks like a successful project to me. Tune in next time. Thanks.